What's going on, family? This is for my targeted individuals who have people around them that have remote jobs or you have a remote job yourself. Some things I notice, as with my children's mother, remote job has definitely been suspicious, as I told y'all before. And a lot of things at first was basically around the timing of her getting the job and, other things like that went along with it. But mainly the fact that the biggest red flag was the security. This computer had to plug into my main network, and in order for the computer to work, you got to plug in basically directly through the Ethernet port into the router, which is going to plug into your main network. Unless you know how to configure your router, whereas though it go to your guest network or something like that. I'm pretty sure you can do that with some routers, at least, if not all of them. You probably just gotta know how to do it, separate your VLANs or whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? I still don't know how to really set up my VLANs and stuff like that completely. I'm pretty sure I can do it if I put my mind to it. You know what I'm saying? Because it did look pretty simple. I have seen the process. But anyway, so first of all, it's tying into your main network automatically. If, like I said, you don't know how to do that. And when I adjust the security settings, it wouldn't connect. It wouldn't get another connection. When I would log into basically the admin page and put the security settings all the way up high, using like Verizon and Xfinity, stuff like that, it would basically block the whole connection. Second thing, they be using it to communicate. I believe this is the way they be covering up a lot of their criminal activity. And basically communicating. Just having that device in your atmosphere can do stuff too if they weaponize the device. Not saying specifically this is my scenario or my cases, but this is my suspicions and things that these devices can do. If you do research on, they can manipulate devices to give off certain frequencies and manipulate the atmosphere in different ways, and human beings to make it like literally even your cell phone, if they have it hacked, they can make it emit more frequencies, and I'm probably saying the wrong words and stuff like that, but they could basically manipulate it to make it have a different effect. Same thing with your routers and stuff like that. This is why it's important to know what these people are capable of out here. But yeah, it's just crazy though. I don't trust those remote jobs. I think they definitely, and they be hiring these people. That be their incentive. Some people are literally selling people out for a job. You know what I'm saying? But, among other things, that be one of the incentives for them to stay close to you, to be able to connect your network, especially if you're a disabled person like I am, whereas though you basically is home most of the time. You know what I'm saying? And they want to, if I was stupid, well, not stupid, I'm not going to call us stupid for believing that we can trust our home network, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you didn't know no better, I would be basically, if I didn't know no better, I would basically be using that same network. I never used that same network because I always suspected it. Like I said, it came at a strange time where people started, acting different. You know what I'm saying? And, everything. No, it's on my point, I know 100%. And just the communication through there. It's a whole thing they do. Well, in my situation, she said the job do supposed to be sending a new computer, so whatever the case may be. But I don't worry about it no more. I don't, stress over it. Like I said, I don't connect to that network. Only thing go through that network is like my house stuff, and I don't like even use the same router on my house stuff as that network. I keep it separate, but it still can affect my main router, because I would have that before that router. It could affect that, which then you can affect the DNS. But I don't keep. I mean, yeah, you can affect the main modem or whatever. So I got my modem, then I have it connected to another router, then I have it connected to, if she used her work router, and then I have another router connected to the first router, the main router. So it's two routers connected to the main router, which keep, the network separated. So her network, her router's on her own network. Our house stuff is on our own network, and basically they tied into the modem. Nothing is on the modem. Don't have nothing on on your main router. Those two are tied into the main router, and the main router is tied into the modem. But you don't want to have nothing on your main router, at all, that they can manipulate. But I know they can still, we dealing with some, official scumbag. They official like a rep with a whistle, son. Like real rap, though. You know what I'm saying? We are dealing with the real deal out here. Anytime they're able to weaponize the things and, we depending on, we can't get no law and justice out here. We dealing with the real deal white supremacists, for sure, for sure. But I'm out of here until later. Definitely don't, look out. Like I said, people gotta do what they gotta do. We gotta do what we gotta do out here. And one of the main things, if you would target an individual, just, you might have to pay a little more for your own network. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you're using that network, I'm gonna say this before I get out of here, and you're using a different router for that network, they still getting your IP address every day. You know what I'm saying? Automatically, regardless. They might be using a VPN or whatever the case may be, but they're still going to have your IP address and be able to target your IP address every single day. So the way I maneuver with my router and my modem, but you see I still get attacked 'cause I'm dealing with white supremacists with access to these lines and in ISP companies and everything. But still, you might not be going through it the same exact way that I'm going through it, and they might not have you isolated the same way they have me isolated. But so what I do is I unplug my fucking modem every day. Like, just point blank period. If I ain't using it, I unplug that shit, you know what I'm saying? And I only connect my shit when I'm basically using it, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. So like every night, my IP address really should change. I leave it off so much. But, and I use Verizon now, so it don't have no modem. So I just unplug they service, they little bots and shit. Unplug that shit, you know what I'm saying, every night. And, and my router's not hooked up. My router's in my book bag with a padlock on it. You know what I'm saying? Laugh at my pain so I can laugh at my own pain and abuse. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody should have to live like this. But I'm out of here. Definitely watch them Jones and, pay attention to them remote jobs, people with them remote jobs around you. And if you connected to the network, but you should always be using a VPN anyway. But as I know, that don't stop them. You know what I'm saying? It don't stop it. Definitely once they know certain things about your phone, identifiers of your phone, like your IMEI, among other things. It's like one other thing, actually. So if they know these things, they could just target your phone anyway, even with a VPN. And yes, they they vicious. There's some SIM card hacks, and it's a lot, man. We got a lot of knowledge and stuff to explore and learn and talk about. So until later.